Hi, Archie.
Hi.
How are you today?
Good.
Excellent. All right, well, I'm just going to jump in and go ahead and share my screen with you. And that takes me a moment. How was your day today?
Good.
That's great. Well, I'm really happy to see you. I'm always happy to see you. And there we are. So, actually, I don't think we're on this page. And I don't think we're on this page.
Yes, we are not on this page.
Boy, where are we? Aha, I bet we're right here where the star is, right?
Yes.
And they're at that spooky house, right? Doesn't this house look spooky? It looks like a haunted house kind of, doesn't it?
It's not this page, it's the next page.
I know, I just wanted to look at the house. It makes me go, ooh. I don't.
And they go inside, they will meet the
And
wait me a moment.
okay. I will wait for you for a moment. Try saying that again, Archie. Say, wait for me.
Wait for me.
Yep.
They go inside the haunted house and they will meet Lady Wonder Whiskers.
You think so? You're so sneaky. Okay. Well, we learned a word yesterday, and the word was being sarcastic. Sarcastic is a word that can describe how we are talking. And if we say the word sarcasm, which is this one here, sarcasm, that is referring to the thing, like the action of talking in a way that is sarcastic. And swift pause, I've noticed, is kind of a sarcastic character. And so they're trying to be really quiet so that no one can hear them. And then when Geronimo says, "Are you sure that this is a good idea?" Swift pause is like, why are you being so loud? You might as well go ring the doorbell and announce we're here. Of course, he doesn't really mean that. He's being sarcastic. All right, so now we're on the next paragraph with he. So he is a pronoun. We don't know if he is talking about swift pause or Geronimo. I think we need to back up and find out. So let's see. Let me see if we go back here. So they landed in front of the house, and Geronimo wants to know if this is a good idea. And the next paragraph that I've circled in pink, that's swift pause talking. So I think when they say he, usually it's going to be the last person they were talking about, which is swift pause. So I think swift pause snuck up to the back porch. We, okay, so we is another pronoun, but this is talking about both swift pause and Geronimo. We were in luck if you call sneaking into a spooky house at night lucky. The back door was open. But just as we were about to enter, we heard a sound. Swish, swish, swish. Hey, that's the name of the
It is Lady Wonder Whiskers.
Oh, you're way ahead of me. Something was moving in the bushes behind us. This time he's not getting away, whispered Swift Paws. Costume super net mode. Well, he's done that one other time. Didn't he turn into a net back in the ballroom when he accidentally tripped and knocked over all of the cheese fondue?
Yes.
Yep, you are correct. They capture Lady Wonder Whiskers. Instantly, that means right away, Swift Paw's costume transformed We've seen that word a few times. Do you remember what transformed means?
Yes.
Do you know what other word we can use in English?
Transform.
Swiftpaw's costume into an enormous butterfly net. What word could we use here besides transformed? Instantly, Swiftpaw's costume into an enormous butterfly net.
Transform.
Now, what other word would fit there besides transformed? Starts with a
Change.
That's right. Changed into an enormous butterfly net. Excellent detective work. Let's write that right here. Changed. There's change. And we know the G says J because of the E. Changed. Changed into an enormous butterfly net. And remember that I'm just saying it enormous, but the author is writing this with the word mouse, right? Because he's always looking for ways to change a word to have a mouse or a rat in it. But actually, the real spelling is just M-O-U-S with no E on the end. Enormous, enormous, which means very, very big. He launched it into the bushes. Swish, bonk, thump. Super Swiss slices. I've got you, my super partner cried. Oof, stop, explained an unmistakable female voice. Wow, this is a great word. Any idea what unmistakable means? I'm going to explain this one, but first I want to ask you if you know what a female voice means.
What's a female?
Female. Have you heard those words female and male?
No.
Female is a girl and male is a boy. So a female is a girl. And then, do you see this one here? That part there? Male equals a boy. So you are a male student. Okay? I am a female teacher. Male means that you're a boy, and female means that you are a girl. All right, we're going to take a quick look here at unmistakable. Unmistakable is a really long word, but we can make it shorter by circling the prefix and circling the suffix, and then just looking down at the middle of the word called the root word. All right, so we've got a prefix here. Is that a good color to use? Can you see that? So this prefix, remember that's when we add letters to the beginning of a word. And this one equals the meaning not. We have seen some other prefixes in this book that also mean not. For example, we had ear. I'm trying to remember where that was. Oh, where was it? Excuse me, let me just take a peek here. Oh, well, we had this one when we talked about approve and disapprove, and D-I-S, meant not. And then we also had another one. Oh, I just found it. Invisible and visible, and the IN was a prefix that means not. So it turns the word into the opposites. We have in, and we have dis, and then we have un. So un, UN, like happy and unhappy, means not happy. If you're sad, you could say, I am unhappy. And then there is a suffix at the end of this word, which is A-B-L-E. And a suffix is when we add letters to the end of a word. And we add a suffix to change how we use the word in the sentence, like what kind of job can it do? We could change a word from a noun to a verb, to an adjective, back to a noun, back to a verb. We can change how we use it by adding a suffix to the end. Other suffixes are things like ing or ed or ly. There's lots of different suffixes that we can add to the end of a word. So now after we get rid of the prefix at the beginning and the suffix at the end, let's see what's left in the middle. We have
Mistake.
That's right. And a lot of times when we add a suffix, we have to take off the silent E. So let's put the silent E back in here for a minute. There it is. And then you can see in that blue square, we've got the word mistake, right? And do you know what a mistake is? What does it mean to make a mistake?
Like, wait a moment.
Wait a minute, where are you going? I just lost you. The question is he going to find out what a mistake is? Or to get a drink of water? Or to have a rest stop? He's back, I think. Dun, 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 dun. Is he back or is he not back? Here he is. So Archie, do you know what it means to make a mistake?
It's something you do wrong.
That's right. So if I said, hey, Sam, I'm really happy to see you, you would say, wait a minute, my name's not Sam. And I'd be like, oh, I made a mistake. It's Archie, right? Or if I'm taking a test at school and I write that 2 + 2 = 5, you think the teacher is going to say I'm right or I'm wrong?
Wrong.
That's right. I'd say, oh, I made a mistake. So a mistake is when we make an oopsie daisy doozy doozy. Okay? We do something that we wish we didn't do. We're like, oh, I wish I didn't do that. So you see how we're going to put this prefix un in front? Well, un means not. Okay? So this word unmistakable means it is not possible to make a mistake. It is not possible for us to be wrong about this. It is obvious. We are definitely going to see something correctly. So they hear a voice who says, oof, stop. And they are absolutely sure that that voice is being made by a girl. They know 100%, absolutely sure. They cannot make a mistake about it. There's no way that voice could be made by a boy. It is definitely made by a girl. Okay, that's what unmistakable means. It means it's not possible to be wrong about this. I am absolutely sure. Okay, so that means that Lady Wonderwhisker's voice must really sound like a girl. Maybe she talks like this. I don't know. Okay, so they've captured her in the net. We're going to move to the next page. Now remember, whenever they are really surprised, the author has them say some really silly words. Usually they have to do with cheese. I don't know why. And mozzarella is a kind of cheese. A couple pages ago, we saw gorgonzola. And that, was it here? Gorgonzola was also, oh yeah, right here. Gorgonzola is another kind of cheese. And mozzarella is a kind of cheese. Mozzarella is the cheese that they like to put on pizza. And so they say, great balls of mozzarella. It was Lady Wonder Whiskers. And so what does Swift Paws says? He goes, rats. So that's an expression we use in English when we're like, oh, shucks. Oh, I'm not happy about that. Whoops. You know, I was wrong. I didn't catch the invisible thief after all. Rats, said Swift Paws. He seemed super disappointed. And remember, when we see this really, really long word with lots and lots of letters, if it starts with super, it's because the author loves to start words in this book with super. And we can just cover, whoops, that was a whoopsie daisy doozy doozy for me. I'm going to have to go back to a square here. We can just cover up that word super. That will help it be easier.
Disappoint.
What was that?
Disappoint.
Yeah, and we see disappointed. Now, there is a suffix at the end. We can cover that up too. And now we can see the word disappoint, okay? Disappoint means to, we talked about this one, but I'm going to say it again because it's a little bit of a hard word. We disappoint someone when we do something or say something that makes the other person a little bit sad because it's not what they wanted or what they were hoping for. So, for example, if our mom or dad is hoping that we're going to do really well on something and we don't, then we might feel like we disappointed them. We can really only disappoint someone who we care about, right? If we don't care about them, if we don't know them, if we don't have a relationship with them, then it doesn't really matter to them how we do because they don't really know us. So you disappoint someone usually that you have a relationship with of some kind, and they really care about how you do, and they want you to do well, or they want you to do something, and if you don't, then they might feel a little bit sad about that. Now, the person that didn't do so well, this might bother them if they really care about that person, or it might not bother them if they don't know that person very well. So, but disappoint is not really a happy word. And I think that I try to encourage people, families, moms and dads and kids, my students, I try to tell them that we don't have to worry about disappointing someone if we are trying our best. And because life is all about making mistakes. If we never made a mistake, then we would be perfect and we would have nothing to learn, and then life would be boring. And so we make mistakes when we are learning, when we are being adventuresome and taking risks and trying new things. And that takes practice. And when we're practicing, we make mistakes. So we should see mistakes as something to be excited about, because it means someone is learning and someone is taking risks and someone is trying their best and persevering, and we should celebrate that. So I try to encourage people not to be disappointed in themselves and not to feel like they disappointed someone else, but instead to say, you know what? I didn't give up. I learn from every mistake I make. I get back on that horse. I try again. And that's what life is about. Taking risks, making mistakes, learning, being willing to try, and not worrying so much about how do other people feel about it, right? If we spend all of our time worrying that someone else might be disappointed in us, then we might be afraid to ever try anything new or to ever take a risk or make a mistake. So now I'm going to get rid of the ED. Okay, so Swift Paws was disappointed that it wasn't the thief in his net. Okay, because he was really hoping that he caught the thief. When we look back here, and he was getting ready with the net to swing it into the bushes, he thought he was going to pull the invisible thief out and that he'd be like, yay, I did it. So that's what he wanted to happen. And when he sees that it's Lady Wonder Whiskers, instead of saying, oh, I'm so sorry that I caught you by accident, Lady Wonder Whiskers, are you okay? He's saying, oh, I wish you were the invisible thief. I was so excited to catch the invisible thief and I didn't. And now I feel disappointed. Do you think that's the right reaction for Swift Paws? I don't. I think he should have asked Lady Wonder Whiskers, are you okay? I'm so sorry I caught you with a net. But he, so let me get rid of our super here. Okay. But then he does say sorry. So first he was disappointed that it wasn't the thief. And then he does say, sorry about that, Lady Wonder Whiskers, but what are you doing here? And she says, whoops, what happened here? Did you think I would let you do this alone? Asked the super rodent, her blue eyes twinkling. Ah, Lady Wonder Whiskers, she was so brilliant. Oh, here comes Geronimo, remember? He has kind of a crush on her, right? So as soon as Lady Wonder Whiskers shows up, what does Geronimo do? He completely forgets about the case. He completely forgets about what he's there to do. He just starts thinking about, oh, Lady Wonder Whiskers, she's just so beautiful. Look at her beautiful, twinkling, sparkling eyes. Look at how pretty she is, right? And then he says, a mouse could get lost staring into those sparkling blue eyes. It's like looking into the ocean. It's like looking into the night sky at all the stars that are sparkling there, right? He's totally forgotten about the invisible thief. And then he says, funny, they reminded me of another lady rodent I admired. Archie, do you remember any other character in this book who Geronimo has been really distracted by, has a crush on? Do you remember another one besides Lady Wonder Whiskers?
Professor?
Was it who?
Professor.
Priscilla?
Priscilla.
Priscilla, is that her name here? Where?
Priscilla.
Let me see. What is her name? Yeah, Priscilla. Priscilla Barr. Right? So do you remember it's this girl right here, right? And what did he say? What did he say about Priscilla? He said, what did he say about her? Let's see. Oh, he just said, right here.
You're wonderful, or I mean, I'm wonderful too.
Yeah, you're wonderful, or I mean, I'm wonderful. I mean, it's wonderful to see you too, right? And then over here, look what he said. He said she was wearing a sparkling blue-green gown, the same shade as her eyes. So what color were her eyes?
Blue.
Blue, sparkling blue, and she's brilliant and beautiful. Okay, so there she is. Now keep Priscilla in your mind, and let's go see
Lady Wonder Whiskers.
Lady Wonder Whiskers. Where is Lady Wonder Whiskers? Here she is. All right, and what does it say about her?
Next page.
Next page, it says something about sparkling blue eyes, and it says, huh, we know that she's brilliant, she's beautiful. There she is. Take a look at her. What do you think? They reminded me of another lady I admired. What do you think about Priscilla and Lady Wonder Whiskers? Have any predictions, any thoughts on that?
Yes.
What do you think?
I don't know.
Do you think they're different people, or do you think they are maybe the same person?
Maybe the same.
Yeah, you know, I've read this book many times, and I don't know the answer to that, but I kind of wonder. I kind of think maybe they are. Maybe here she is with her superhero disguise on. Okay, well, I was still thinking about those eyes when Lady Wonderwhiskers held up a small gadget that emitted a blue flashing light. Okay, that's what's in her hand right here. So a gadget is like a little tool or contraption, and emitted means it's giving off a light. It's sending out a light, okay? Like, and it's flashing. So there's something in her hand, and it's flashing this blue light, okay? So let's see what it is. What's that? Swiftpaws asked. And she said, it's a position indicator. Sounds like something that Tess, electron, or proton might make. A position indicator. Well, indicator means it's going to tell us, it's going to indicate where something is or tell us where something is. And if it's a position indicator, maybe it will tell us where someone is, where position is, where are they? So let's see, the super rodent explained. Tess Technopaws gave it to me. You attach it to the object you're trying to follow, and it transmits a signal to our communicator watches, she explained. This way, we can find anyone no matter where they go. Okay, so all you have to do is stick it on to something, and no matter where that thing goes on their watch, they can look and they'll see a little blue flashing light telling them where that, like on their watch, I think a map shows up, and then they can look at the map and they can watch that little blue light moving. Have you ever ordered Uber Eats, Archie?
Hi, Super Eat.
Have you ever seen those people on scooters, on motorcycles that are delivering food? And on the back of their scooter, they have a big box that is green, and it says Uber Eats, or maybe it says Food Panda.
Yes, I deliver that all the time.
Yeah? Well, have you ever looked at your mom's phone to see a map of where the Uber Eats is?
It can see where someone gives the food where he is.
That's right. So can you watch his little motorcycle or his little scooter kind of drive down the road?
Yes.
Well, that's what this can do. So they stick this little, it's like a tracking device, but they're calling it a position indicator. And they stick it on something, okay, like a scooter or a person. And then when that person is walking or the scooter is moving, on their watch, it's like maybe like an Apple Watch, where they can see a map and they can see maybe a blue dot going beep, 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 and they can just follow on the map on their watch. They can see where is that person or that thing going, okay? So this seems pretty cool. So Swiftpaw says, well, what are we waiting for? Squeaked Swiftpaws. Let's go. And this is where we're going to put our star right here. And I'm going to stop sharing so that I can say, dun, 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 so long.
So long, Cheddar Chip. Goodbye.
Bye.